give me that countdown, and then
You
I'll
can
be
go
ready to hit it.
whenever.
Oh, you do. I like a count.
10,
No, like 3, 2,
9,
1.
8,
All
3, 2,
right.
1.
Bum 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 bum.
You
Salutations,
cut out in
my
the
lord.
middle of your salutations. You went
Oh.
salutations.
You sound fine for me.
Oh, well, did it? Salutations, my lords and ladies. Yes, it is your beloved movie connoisseurs back at it again. But we have a surprise guest. But before I bring him up, let us do how we usually like to do it here. Like to do a little quick synopsis. So, what movie are we talking about today? Well, it's not a bird, it's not a plane. Yes, it is the Superman movie. We will be going over that and doing a review. If you haven't seen the movie yet, get out of here. You got to go see that movie and come back because there's going to be spoilers, heavy duty spoilers. And you already know how we like to run it here. So, be prepared for that. You have been warned. But going forward, I am the connoisseur himself, E-Man. We got
The Master Cinema is over here. It's Machi.
Yep, it's Machi. And then we also got the surprise guest himself.
Me, the Duke of Gaming. I don't have any air horns, but I'll put them in post.
Put him in post. Yes, we have the Duke of Gaming along with us today. He knows a lot about Superman and the DC in itself. And he has a lot to say, so I wanted to bring him along to bring it in. Out of all three of us, I'm not really a big Superman fan, but I 100% still wanted to go see this movie. So a lot of the majority will be both of them talking. So let's just get right into it. First question, and I'm going to direct it for both of y'all first. But I'm going to go to Machi first, of course. Machi, so hands down, what did you think of the movie overall? Just give me that first synopsis.
Okay. This is very much a Superman movie. This is a movie specifically targeted towards Superman fans, right? So it's very. Oh no, it's not difficult to grade. I wouldn't say it's difficult to grade. It's a 6 out of 10 movie, right? I came in expecting this to be like really big. Maybe the hype got to me a bit too much, right? It's an okay movie out of all, but it's a very good movie if you're a Superman fan that you will love it a lot.
I got you. Logan.
This was a solid 6 out of 10. I could not agree more. This was honestly a disappointment for me.
Oh, really? I am surprised to hear that.
Yeah.
That's not even sarcasm.
No, it's just we'll get into it.
I would say this movie was like hands down. It kind of reminded me a little bit of why I don't really mess with Superman. Like, low-key, I'm not gonna cap. Without a doubt, though, this was a good movie. In my opinion, this was a good movie. I would definitely be in the 6 to 10 range, along with my co-stars for this video. It's like a movie where, like, to me, it's not something I wouldn't really need to hate on or anything like that. Like, it was like a consistent story. We got the Superman stuff. We got the characters helping him, saving the day. We got him kind of dealing with like his antagonist, like Luthor, and just all just boils down to just how Superman is. But like, I like one thing I do say I like about it is that they kind of went into some of the things that Superman does and holding him accountable for some of the stuff that he does, since he has all that power. Like, that great power comes great responsibility kind of thing. But going forward, some of it was mad corny. There are little things I didn't really like. But regardless though, in my opinion, I feel like as for like Superman fans, I think they would have definitely enjoyed this movie. But next question I have, and I'm gonna start with Machi again. So Machi, what are some problems you had with this movie? Be honest.
All right. First of all, this is a hard thing. I felt like this movie was kind of all over the place. Like, there's definitely a core to this that it was following, right? And it was sticking to, and it was focusing on. But when it came to whether it wanted to be more dramatic or more funny or more serious, it just didn't really mix together all that well for me. right? Like there are definitely scenes in here where it's like, yeah, let's tackle. This is the world, right? This is the superhero world we're in. We're already in it. We're in the thick of it already. And that's fine. That's good, right? But it especially hit me in the scene where Superman and Lois are talking after the whole reveal of Superman's parents comes out, and you can just see the background of them fighting, and it's a very emotional moment between them. But then it's also trying to kind of make you laugh about the hilariousness of he's not going to go out there and fight that monster because the other team's got it. Don't worry about it, right?
Yeah.
That really just clicked to me like, okay, it doesn't know how to balance itself all that well.
Okay, that makes sense. What about you, Logan? What were some big like what are your biggest problems about this movie? Because it seems like you were really like, oh gosh.
I have a few big things in mind, but if I'm trying to like figure out the biggest problem I had with it, it's just for me the whole time I was sitting there, it didn't feel like a Superman movie. I'm used to the Christopher Reeves like old school like original Superman movies. That's what I grew up on, and my dad is this huge Superman fan. So like that's what I have to go off of. Man of Steel, I didn't hate it. I didn't mind it. I think I probably like Man of Steel more than this, which is probably a hot statement. But it just the whole time it was just like it felt like I was watching a fanfic of Superman on YouTube.
Yes.
Yo, that's such a good point. That is a very good point. I like that analogy. Yeah, would that be an analogy? Yeah. That's a good point.
There's so many. The whole time I had to sit there, and already this is supposed to be like the jumpstart of the new DC universe, right? So there's already
James
like a
Gunn
whole bunch
universe.
of expectations behind it, and I had high expectations going into it. So I had to peel back a whole like layers upon layers of expectations to be able to sit there and actually enjoy the movie. And that's why I gave it a 6 out of 10, because the whole time I was bouncing between like a 5 and like a 6.5, and it do something really corny, like Lamachi, you were just saying, where the Justice Gang, or again, that it's very James Gunn to have like little jokes here and there, like the back and forth about the Justice Gang name and this and that, but like
Yeah.
them in the background fighting that thing. Very again emotional moment of Superman flying in and he's talking with Lois. Like that was a good scene, but it felt undermined because of the stuff that was going on in the background, and that's just the tug of war I
Yeah.
felt throughout the entire movie, where there was like something really good and really serious and something that fit Superman and fit DC, and then it was kind of James
Taken away.
Gunnified,
Yeah.
and there was like a joke or there was something that made it a little less than serious.
As for me, this is what I want to say. Not gonna lie, I don't know. This is gonna sound crazy. A little bit of me was kind of getting Lex Luthor's pettiness going into this film with everything that was happening, especially all the corniness, bro. It's just I don't know. A lot of the time when I was watching that movie, like there were good elements of it where some of the comedy was good, but other times it was just like, why is this there? Like, what is the point of this? Like we're going from like serious to stupid, serious to stupid, serious to stupid. And I'm just like sitting here like I couldn't keep up. I couldn't keep up. There were like going back to your point, Logan, of the whole like monster fight with like the Justice Gang, like fighting that big jellyfish eye amalgamation while Superman's talking with Lois. Dude, I couldn't tell if I was supposed to pay attention to the fight or pay attention to the sad moment, because I was like, what if I guess maybe like the fight's gonna like turn to them, but that fight had nothing to do with anything. That was just like a little like, oh, check out this cool fight scene, but Superman's going through it right now. Like, and I was like, okay, I get it, but like I'm confused. Am I supposed to be like I thought like the fight was gonna like somewhat get involve like Superman and Lois, like maybe like the laser, because you see in the thing the monster's like having like shooting like lasers out of its eye or its butt or whatever it was. I can't really tell if it was a jellyfish or an eye, whatever, it doesn't matter. But like I thought like the laser was gonna hit like the glass, maybe Superman was gonna have to save her, but it's really just him talking about like the loss of his dog and everything like that. And like it's like the like I mean honest with you, I feel like most times like the dog even had more like screen time than like most of like the major characters. I was like, why are we so focused on Crypto? I thought this was like it felt like even like most parts like we were focused on like Crypto and everything, and I was confused. Or and I don't know, there's some things about the movie where I was just like I couldn't tell where my focus should be for this movie the entire time.
Right. If I can say another thing to just go off on that, that's literally what it was, right? It was a Superman movie. Of course it was. His name is the title. He's the main character. But number one, did not feel like Superman. And number two, it barely even felt like a Superman movie because there was this huge plot around everything else going on.
It's a setup movie.
It's absolutely a setup movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's very much setting up the wider world of this new DC cinematic universe, right? And that's the biggest problem of the movie. It's a Superman movie, but it's not a Superman movie. The whole problem is you're setting it in these 3 years into this. A bunch of the plot of what people mainly know about Superman has already been done and handled. Now you're going on with this new problem that is connected to the wider world and scope and vision of things that are to come.
Yeah. One thing I will say also going forward, there were some parts in the film where I felt like, okay, these are two parts that really, really kind of threw me off, or I guess I would say kind of annoyed me a little bit. One, the clone scene that I was like, I mean, it was kind of obvious, but at the same time, seeing that I was like, what? Like that's like that was like my immediate like reaction. I was like, oh, okay, it's a clone, but like, why? I thought it was just gonna be like some random dude that got augmented, like the engineer, but then it's just like it's a clone of him, and I was like, okay, cool. Is this like Bizarro? But it's not, and I was like, okay,
that's the theory.
That's the theory right now, because I was like, is this gonna be like Bizarro later down the line? Because that's what I was feeling, or just like, I'm not gonna lie to you, the end credit with Supergirl pulling up, I was also like, is it like, I guess that kind of shows us like where we were at in the timeline for like Superman, but like it was just like she just shows up and she's drunk off a rocker, and then she just picks up Crypto, and that's not even his dog, which that's not even facts. Crypto is his dog, or maybe I don't know. Maybe for like I said before, viewers, I don't know a lot about Superman and the DC comics, so maybe I'm gonna have to ask either of you two. But I thought Crypto was our dog, and also I'm pretty sure Crypto is not a rabid, crazed dog as he was in the film. Not gonna lie, he was hilarious, but at the same time, that's not my Crypto in my opinion. But maybe that's just me. But how do y'all feel about it, Machi?
So first of all, for the cloning Superman thing, that's just a Lex Luthor staple.
Oh, okay.
But I'm very familiar with the whole idea and process of, hey, Lex Luthor, I created a clone of Superman to beat Superman. That's a very fun thing he does, right? So I wasn't too surprised that, oh, it's a clone of him. Cool. He even called it Ultraman.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That was a simple thing for me, right? The whole, it's not specifically his dog, because it's kind of his dog. Basically, he's dog sitting for his sister, his cousin, right? Supergirl. Which is, I found it to be a funny joke, right? But it also puts in perspective a little funny thing that this is why Crypto in this adaptation is more or less not the best trained, because Supergirl's technically the owner and she ain't doing good, right? That was a bit of a funny joke, but I can understand where so will be more frustrated when they know a more serious kind of Crypto, because a lot of, especially, movies with Crypto, talk and all that stuff, mainly for the benefit of the audience and all that, but he'll seem more like Superman, just as a dog kind of thing.
Okay, I got you. What about you, Logan?
I wasn't too upset with Crypto being in the movie, but it definitely again, it took away from it being about Superman. Um, my biggest issue with Crypto isn't Crypto. It's actually just that the entire movie, and this is another reason why it didn't feel like a Superman movie for me, is the whole time Superman's getting beat up. Like I don't did he win a single fight in the movie without Crypto at the very end? Like, he didn't really do anything of
yes, the engineer fight.
He beat the engineer, yeah, and he also beat those.
They're getting up on him, and they're trying to fill his lungs with the stuff.
I barely think that counts. Like that was a ridiculous fight scene too, and I feel like the engineer was a cool character, but I don't know. She felt kind of misplaced in a villain role for me, where she wasn't like the super well-known villain in the first place. So it felt weird that she was like I don't know. I that one felt a little misplaced for me just because I didn't really care for the character. But even that fight scene, like I'm used to Superman is supposed to be, and I know this is gonna go down a road that you don't want to go down, E-Man, because you have a huge problem with overpowered characters. But he's supposed to be Superman. He's supposed to be able to like destroy. He's not supposed to struggle like that against two B-tier characters. And the entire movie, he was struggling.
I was fine with him struggling because one of those people was just him.
Okay, I to that point, yes, I get that. I'm not gonna lie to you, Logan. I was kind of like Lex Luthor. I was pumping my fist when he was getting his butt beat. Not gonna lie, I was like, yeah, like, because I want that, bro, hands down, bro. Superman winning all the time, that would have been boring to me. Like, it made me feel like he was a real character at that point with him losing. Like especially like the first few minutes of the movie is literally them saying like, what was it, like 3 centuries, like 3 decades to 3 yada yada yada, and then like in 3 minutes, like Superman has lost his very first fight, and then just him crashing into like the thing. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Okay, so Superman's losing.
Yeah.
Now I'm invested. Like I like that. It made it feel more like a real. Doesn't feel like the essence of the movie wasn't really about him being Superman. It was more about the human essence of him being Superman and like the human in him and all that stuff. That was like the majority of like at the end with his. To everybody else, especially for people who love Superman, his powerful speech. To me, it was a corny speech.
Oh, that was so weird.
That speech corny, was it was corny, yeah. But I mean, I know you said something about that with that Machi. Actually, I want to bring that up so you can say that again because I remember I mentioned that speech.
It's a turn to the camera and talk to the people kind of speech.
Well, yeah, but you also said like that's regular for Superman in the comics.
Let me tell you something. If you've watched Superman 4. You'll know this. In Superman 4. No, you've seen it?
Superman 4?
Yeah.
I have not seen Superman 4.
Oh my goodness. No.
All right, well,
the Quest for Peace. There are 2 scenes in Superman 4, the Quest for Peace, where Superman literally preaches to the UN to stop nuclear experiments. And that's the moral of that whole thing. The whole thing is that he doesn't like the nuclear experiments going on. So he literally goes to the UN and he talks about it twice. It's not subtle. It's a very not subtle kind of scene right there. And it's nothing new for Superman, but doesn't mean it's good.
No, all right. I can understand that. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Like he was trying to do a whole talk no jutsu, like trying to like, bro, you're telling your biggest hater, like, listen, that's your like, bro, like imagine after a big pivotal moment, you got this man by the neck, he talking his crap, and here you go, wait, listen, Lex, that's your one problem. You don't understand that. At the end of the day, I'm a human. Like that's literally how it sounded to me. Like it was just out of nowhere. Like I'm a human. That's where you got it wrong, Lex. I'm a human. That's the biggest part of me. I'm human. All day, I fail, I lose, but at the end of the day, I'm human. Not gonna lie, I get why the speech needed to happen because it was the whole precipice that, like, yes, Superman has done like ridiculous stuff, even like even to the point where like sometimes he does things on his own accord without even checking up with anybody, and but to be fair, yeah, people were gonna die, and that's why he had to go to what was the two countries? Like, I'm just gonna say J and B. Like, people are gonna die because of country B, and he had to go save country J. I really don't remember the names, but I know they both started with a J and a B. And at that point, he's given that point, but like even Lois is like, sometimes like you just do these things, you go and like you have that strength and everything, but like you have to choose your battles and think more. But like it's Superman. Superman at the end of the day, like he's the strongest man on the earth. Yada yada. Like he's the one. He's the symbol of the world. 100%. Even to the point where like that entire country that's about to get bombarded by Lex Luthor's army and the B country's army, right? That kid's holding up that was an amazing scene. But I like that scene with the kid with the flag. That was cool. But just to that point, like he's pivotal. He's pivotal. But like he's a pivotal character. He's a pivotal need for the entirety of the series because it's a Superman movie. But you get to like the whole human thing where it's like that at the end of the day, he's still human. He's not just an alien. He lived here. He grew up here. It's this is his home at the end of the day. So, but I feel like they could have done that speech a lot better instead of making it corny. Maybe that's my real point at the end of this, because I know I'm just yapping. I'm sorry, viewers, but
honestly, the speech.
The problem is you don't give a speech, or I don't get the speech.
Do the speech.
Oh, you don't do the
speech. Is the theme of the movie, basically. It's the theme of Superman. Yeah. It's what Superman stands for and all that, and that's fine. And the problem was they weren't subtle about it. They just straight up looked to the audience and said, "Hey, this is literally the point of Superman."
Mm-hmm.
All right, and that's fine. You can always do that, but it's not going to be received well because you've lost all subtlety in your dialogue.
No, okay, yeah, I can fully 100% understand that. Especially just like I feel like if like the speech wasn't there, maybe it would have been better. Like just like we get it, we don't need that cliff note at the end. Like
right.
we get it from like the story of itself. Another thing I kind of want to ask both of you was like, how did y'all find like the acting? Like, for instance, okay, the first things first. How did David, like in y'all both honest to God opinion, David Cornsweet, is that how you say his name? Cornsweet or whatever. Cornsweet. David Cornsweet. How did he, in your opinion, as Superman fans, how did he do as Superman? Machi.
He was fine.
Okay. Nothing else, or just he was fine?
Nothing else. He was fine. I didn't hate him. I liked him. I liked the performance he gave. I liked the way he held himself throughout the movie. I really enjoyed seeing his more emotional moments and the way he had to interact or just move throughout the scenes. I like that, right? He did a very good job on that, right? I can't say I hated his dialogue. The only dialogue part throughout the whole movie I didn't like was the whole speech thing, right? I understood it, I just didn't like it, didn't think it was needed and all that. But throughout the movie, he was given a great performance.
Yeah. What about you, Logan?
I didn't hate it. I don't think he doesn't feel like Superman to me yet. But that could just be because of billion other things were going on in the movie for me to not really care for it. But his acting in general, all the acting, all of the actors I think did a good job playing their parts, but the direction of the characters themselves, most of them I didn't like.
Yes.
Can you give me an example?
All right, so here's you're gonna hate me at the end of this, E-Man.
Okay.
I do not like Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. I don't like him at all. I don't like it. I think he is a great actor. I think he acted Lex Luthor super well, but he is not Lex Luthor. He did not.
That is fine. That is fair.
Give Lex Luthor vibes to me at all. When he tried to be, it felt forced. I don't even think that's an acting thing because I was able to tell myself, yes, okay, this makes sense. I can see this happening in real life. But knowing Lex Luthor as a character and seeing him as Lex Luthor is, again, like, it's another one of those reasons why it just felt like a fan fiction, like, YouTube indie film of Superman the entire time. My favorite character was Lois Lane. I think her character, period, and the acting was on point. I think she did everything perfectly.
Absolutely. All right. In my opinion, for like everything both of y'all said. Okay, first things first. David Cornsweet's character as Superman. I honestly think he did a good job, hands down. I know this is like a before like we get into like more and more stuff with him later down the line. But as for his first movie as Superman, in my honest opinion, like I feel like he fit the kind of like when I imagine Superman, I think of lame, corny, like the all like superhero, like can't be touched, and like he kind of fit that, like especially when he's trying to be like, "Whoa, dude, that's not cool," or like let's do great things. Like he was fitting that vibe, especially like. I mean, I don't know. I bet he was cringing sometimes with some of the lines. I'm not gonna lie. Like especially I was cringing, but like to me, that's Superman at his setting. Like he's like that brave, like always good. Like not really that dark, just that little sunlight. I mean, I don't like it, but he did that well. Yeah, like I don't like it, but he did a good job of it. Going forward, my favorite character, hands down, would probably not even probably. It was absolutely positively Mr. Terrific. I think Eddie Gathig. I'm sorry, viewers. Like I've said before, I'm bad at names, so just don't hold me to it. But Mr. Terrific, I loved him. I think he did a really good job. He was a vibe. Lois Lane, I'm glad that you mentioned Lois Lane, Logan, because she was top tier. Rachel, Brosnahan, yes, I think I got that. She did a great job, especially because Lois is like the backbone of Superman, especially in the comics. Like she is legit that backbone. I mean, why do you think they see like CW and all those other series made like Superman and Lois, or the what's that live action
Lois
TV
and
show?
Clark.
Lois and Clark, yeah, all that stuff. Like Lois is a she is a peak character that is the importance of just like Superman and who he is as a person. She brings out his humanity in a sense. If to really get to it, like she brings out his humanity. She is strong without even having like the powers and abilities. She's the reason he got saved in the first place. So he went to the Justice Gang's headquarters, terrible name, Justice Gang headquarters, and was like, "Yo, y'all need to lock in and save your boy. I don't care any kind of controversy." You know, this one thing I will say, and I really do like that they took the time to make sure that this happens. She had top tier journalism integrity, to even the point where she's like interviewing Superman at the very beginning, and she's being very like a good moderator. She's being neutral. Like she's like, yes, they're she was trying to like low key call like they're not dating or whatever. Weird. That's besides the point. That little gif here and there, I was like, Mr. Triff, I didn't want to hear all that, but. Bottom line, when she was doing the whole interview, I like the fact that she was like getting at him. She was interviewing him. Like she wasn't just like, "Oh, I get that, babe. Like that's cool." Like no, she was like, "Listen, I understand why you did it, but at the same time, you need to think about these things." And I like that. I appreciate that. To go to your Lex Luthor point, Logan, I'm not going to hate on you. Want to know why? Because I do understand what you mean. Especially when I think of Lex Luthor, I think of like the things I did like about Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor, because I love Nicholas Holt. He's one of my favorite actors, hands down. Right? He does well. This is the thing that he does good with, especially like for other films, especially like if any viewers have seen Catherine the Great TV show on Hulu, right? He does well with those kind of like petty, like narcissistic characters, right? And in my opinion, he fit like Lex Luthor's like crazy cleanliness to Superman, especially like when he starts crashing out when Superman escaped and like he literally tossed the cup, and I'm not gonna lie, that whole making the cup drop in slow motion dramaticism and him throwing the pencil at his like I guess like girlfriend at the moment. I don't know what the girlfriend's name was
Eve.
at the time. Like Eve, yeah, Eve. He's throwing the pencil at Eve and stuff like that. He's yelling and screaming, or when he's doing like he says like the whole code word to get the clone to keep punching Superman. He's like punching in the air like boom, boom, boom. I was like, that's the pettiness. But there's something like, but here's the thing though. Lex Luthor to me isn't really that, like he's cool, calm, and collected. In my opinion, I feel like Lex Luthor is way more cool, calm, and collected than like Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor. Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor was more kind of like immature, like it's not fair. He's all powerful, and I hate it. Ah! Like that's how like that like it literally felt like how I usually complain when it comes to all powerful characters. And like I don't want to see that. Lex Luthor is like Lex Luthor's like, listen, I don't care what you are. I don't care who you are. You are a thing I need to take care of. You are bad for business. Like it's like that, like kind of situation. Like he's cool, calm, and collected. He's got that aura. My man's got waves, like Mr. Osborn, bro. Like from like what's that dude's name from like Osborn, Norman Osborn. He's like legit. He's like Norman Osborn. No, I'm just saying the character, like how
Spider-Man.
Yes, from Spider-Man. He's like Osborn and Lex Luthor are both billionaire, aura filled, like they know how to handle it. They're cool, calm, and collected. It's like, especially like for instance, when he was crying after he got exposed, I was like, dog, that's not. I'm sorry, like Lamachi, I knew you said that like some points like Lex Luthor is petty and like he feels that way. Like I understand that, but I'm sorry, Lex Luthor wouldn't cry to that, bro. He would be frustrated, but he wouldn't cry. I'm sorry. When he was busting a tear, I was like, dog, there's no way. That man is petty. That man is he doesn't care what it is, especially because like he doesn't care about how the people view him. Lex Luthor's just gonna do Lex Luthor. He's a ruler. He doesn't care about his subjects. So that's why that was kind of my feeling too. So I do understand your point. Did I still love him as a character? Yes. I think that Nicholas Hoult did a good job for what he had to do. But was he an amazing Lex Luthor? No, I think he needed to be a lot more ruthless, a lot more cool, calm, and collected. Like my favorite part is like when he's walking into like the Fortress of Solitude, and he's just aura farming. Like Engineer and Ultraman are taking out all the robots. He's just walking, like especially like when like that one robot's like coming to attack him, and then like, he gets blown up by Engineer, and he's just like kind of dodges the like the explosion a little bit while he's walking in. Like that's Lex Luthor, cool and calm, like ready to go. I don't really give a care about nothing. I just like my bands, my money, my watches. Like that's it. So that's just how I felt about it. But overall, I feel like the acting, in a sense, especially like Nathan Fillion's Hal Jordan. Wait, it's not Hal Jordan. It's
Guy Gardner.
No, it's not Jordan.
Guy Gardner. Thank you,
Thank you.
Yeah, Guy Gardner. Yeah, that's it. I think Nathan Fillion fit Guy Gardner to a T, because Guy Gardner is like the most like annoying individual in the DC universe, bro.
Yeah, he was really good at playing the jerk.
Yeah, he was really good at playing the jerk. You know, this one thing I will say though, some people don't like the fact that for Isabella Marced's Hawkgirl, that she killed that the leader of the B country. Like some people didn't like that. How did y'all feel about that? I didn't care about it either. I thought that was cool.
Fine.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
People didn't like that? What do you mean they didn't like that?
I don't know. They said like some people were like, I can't believe like the in James Gunn universe, Hawkgirl killed somebody. Like she's a superhero, she don't kill. But like some people in the comments like,
so they have not seen any
exactly.
Hawkgirl comics. Like the most famous thing ever done with Hawkgirl was that whole thing in the Justice League where she is kind of on both sides of my people are gonna lead this literal takeover of Earth.
Yeah. So I was fine with that. That's like the rebuttal a lot of people give for people who don't like that she killed somebody. Is like Hawkgirl literally be like dropping bodies, like in like the comics, and that's facts.
A lot of superheroes kill. Wonder Woman kills.
Oh yeah, the whole like no killing rule only applies to like hardcore applies to Spider-Man and Batman. It still applies to Superman. And I was more butthurt that he kind of let Ultraman die. Like I understand why, but at the same time in my mind I was like, wait a minute, Superman just knowingly let him die. That also didn't feel like Superman to me.
I liked it. But like I've said before, viewers, I'm not a big Superman fan, but honestly, I thought that made him a little darker. I liked it. I was
that's not what Superman's for. He's a symbol of hope. He's a symbol of hope.
Bruh. That's cool and all, but like,
and you're supposed to find his humanity in him by his being weak when he's literally invincible. That's the point of Superman.
Clone him had to go, bro. He had to go straight to that black hole, and I understood that whole entire thought process.
There are certain special cases where Superman will kill. I don't feel like this was one of them.
He was a nuisance. He had to get taken out. And bro, but that's not like the bull didn't suffer a little bit when he was doing. Like he had to like physically dislocate. I don't even know if it was his arm or so. He dislocated his entire arm. Like and then like let the thing get like let his clone get thrown into that bus and then sent in. Like that kill was warranted, in my opinion. I understand what y'all mean, but to my fan, that clone needed to go. He was a nuisance. He needed to get checked out. But go with your point, Logan.
I was gonna change the subject, but now that you're bringing back the whole arm breaking thing, there's just something about Superman getting hurt outside of somebody using kryptonite on him. Just makes me upset. But anyway, I won't rant about that any longer. Can we talk about...
Logan,
Yes.
I will always, anyone will always put you back to that one scene, that one just gif of Darkseid pulling Superman back by his cape.
Yeah. Okay, Darkseid's a special case though.
Yeah, like Monty, that's Darkseid though. Like,
Even in Man of Steel, when he's fighting other Kryptonians.
That too, like
but,
that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
but the whole
Yeah.
and I really like after watching this, I really want to go back and rewatch Man of Steel and even Batman versus Superman and all of those. Even though some of them are gonna be hard to get through, but I don't know. It's just same thing. Just seeing him like getting hurt and his arm popping out like that. Like that's just not a Superman thing to do. But anyway, I'm trying to get something else.
All right, because
Can we talk about the elephant in the room? Maybe this doesn't mean as much to you, E-Man, because you're not as well rounded with Superman stuff. But like,
nope.
Lamachi, the whole changing of the parents' message, did that rub you the wrong way? Because that rubbed me the wrong way.
Oh, it rubbed me the wrong way so badly. Sorry, go Machi.
Because I know there are some cases, right, where that is the message to Superman, right? There are some issues in the comics where that is the message to Superman. I don't think I like it for this Superman.
Yeah, me either. It just didn't. It didn't fit.
It makes sense in a way. It makes sense that this is what Lex would use to, destroy him, right? For plot reasons, yes, it makes sense. But for the messaging they're putting forward through the Superman, I don't. But also because they don't sing the message of how where he grew up is what's really important that much. It's only in one scene. That's just the whole speech scene that Paul Kent gives.
Hold on. So yeah.
Like the whole thing is like Superman is not part of his parents, what his parents wanted him to do, right? Yeah. He is instilled with the ideals, true justice, the American way, that his parents from Kansas, right, drilled into him, right? And that's fine, but they don't push that narrative further enough to kind of erase the message that his original parents gave to him.
Yeah, the scene of him in his childhood home on Earth, right, outside with his dad. That whole dialogue made the change okay in my mind. Not that I was happy with it, but it made it okay. But even without that whole dialogue outside was another one of my favorite scenes from the whole movie. That was a very, very powerful moment. If you're about to tell me that you didn't like the dialogue that we're talking about now, you better have some hardcore reasoning to back it up.
Okay, so first things first. I'm gonna refer to first things first. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit back to like your question, right? How did y'all feel about the whole changing of the parents' message, all that, All right, I had a problem with it, hands down, because I know in some cases, like Amanshi said, that is the original thing, but in other cases, because his parents legitimately wanted him to go to that planet and for safety, but also to like kind of just be that kind of beacon of peace and just bringing good to the world and stuff like that. I get that. The crazy part about it that's the legit message. It was not like altered. I would have liked it if it was more of an altered thing instead of like, and it was like a lie instead of it actually being the real thing. Because like honestly, that's kind of used that as a tool to then bring him to his Earth parents and then have that dad son little talkity talk. Which again, I didn't really like it that much because I'm not gonna lie to you. And this is just the real kind of thing. I mean, I understand why it was needed. Of course, like it felt obvious. Of course, it needed to be there. He has the talk. He powers himself back up with higher self-esteem. He's fine now. He's got the little Band-Aid. He got his little boo-boos kissed by his parents. Now he's ready to go again. But at the same time, like, I don't know. That entire, like, one, I couldn't even hear the hear the speech fully. It was kind of more mumbly to me. And like the whole premise was just that like listen, like you're not who your parents wanted you to be. You can be your own person, like that kind of thing. And I was like, you haven't figured it out yet? It just
You're missing what he said.
No,
What he
it was
said
legit
was-
just that. It was just like,
No,
all right,
what he
go.
said was-
Yes.
Parents aren't here to tell you who to be. We're here to give you the tools of life.
Yeah. I heard it.
That's what he said. He's not saying what you said. He's saying, look, dog, it's not literally who you came from, what you are. It's
That's literally what I
you
said.
learned throughout life. What?
That's literally what I said. I said literally that's what the bare thing of it was that look, you're not gonna be what your parents wanted you to be. You can be your own person. You can do your own thing. Like your parents don't make you who you are. Yada yada yada. Like it was
Yeah,
just
but
like
he
that
feels
kind of
like that because, like he said to Lois in the beginning, he's following the
Machi,
will that his
Machi.
birth parents gave him. That's what
I
he's doing.
understand.
That's
I
literally his
understand.
compass. His compass is built by that,
I
not
understand
what it
that.
should be built by.
I'm just saying, like, y'all understand that y'all found that speech powerful. I felt that was common sense. Like, legitly, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, that wasn't a pivotal moment for me. The pivotal moment for me in that movie was hands down, and I'm going to be honest with you, in my opinion, was a lot more to do with the side characters than him himself, especially like them kind of figuring out the whole case between Lex Luthor and everything like that, and then just writing out that speech and using the power of journalism and everything like that. That was a lot better than like the little like heart to heart dad thing. The only cool thing about that at the end is that like, I mean, because like his parents miss him. Like you could tell in like the first few minutes of the movie, but like I guess for some reason Superman is dodging his parents for some reason. I don't know why, but he is. And afterwards, yeah, because he gets his butt beat again, which I was enjoying. He comes home, gets his boo-boos kissed, and then afterwards, his mom's like, "Oh yeah, I cleaned your boots. You're ready to go." And then the only thing I liked about at the end is that like when the robot's like he likes his parents' messages and stuff like that. He likes seeing his parents when he needs to get healed again. And the robot's like, "Oh, that's cool." I like that they replaced his alien parents, his biological parents, with his Earth parents. I thought that was good. That's the only thing I really took from it, really enjoyed about that entire scene, because it was like him. It was another kind of dig as like humanity. He's human. He doesn't have to be the best. He just has to do his best. Yada 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 jargon. But I'm just like, okay, cool. Of course, I got you. I've seen it before.
Also, there,
Wonderful.
that it's a bit of a thing of the whole point of him, Superman, being a bit of an immigration story, right? That he's not for what his original parents wanted. He's for what these Earth parents wanted. He's assimilated into this Earth culture and these Earth ideals.
Yeah.
So he left his original parents behind, and he's now these Earth parents. This is what brings him up. This is what encourages him, empowers him to go on.
Cool.
Speaking of it, in a way, being an immigration story, one of the big, like, worries before the movie came out was people thinking it was gonna be a very political movie. Do you guys think it was political at all? Because
hell no, that movie was just corny as hell.
What did you say, Lamachi?
Not too much.
No? Okay. That's how I felt too, which I was happy about. There was a semblance of like I don't even want to go into it. There was like a little bit, but it really wasn't a political movie at all. There was just politics in motion in the movie.
Yeah, it was like it was
people think, because like inherently on a very real level, Superman is political.
Yeah.
In a very real sense, he's political, even going back to like his first issues and all that, right? And that's fine if you want to put that in there. But his stance has always been, I don't like politics. I don't like going to talk to people about what I need to do. I just want to go save people.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. That's what he does. That's what he's trying to do throughout the movie. And, you know, obviously, other people won't like that he's trying to do that. But he's going to do it anyway because that's, you know, the kindness within him.
Were you guys more on Superman's side then at the beginning versus, I guess, journalism and the news side with the whole him stopping the invasion? Because, like, I'll start. I was conflicted at the beginning. I still wasn't sure how to feel about the movie at all, and I was conflicted with the very, like, in the first, like, 5 minutes of the movie, this political tension of, oh, does Superman have the right to go stop this thing that is going on in a neighboring country, or not neighboring, but like in an allied country, even though what the allied country is doing is technically wrong, but is he representing America? Is he representing himself? And then, of course, journalism, the news spins that into whatever way it wants. Were you guys more on the side of Superman should be able to do what he wants to do? He is saving lives. We should trust him. Or were you guys on the side of no, Superman, whether he meant to or not, did act as a ambassador for America, and that whole thing.
This is very interesting kind of topic going on there, because on a very real thing, it's kind of hard to, because I am not in this movie, right? I'm not a person living in the world that I'm watching, right? I'm a separate I'm a third kind of party here, right? So on a very real level, I know Superman's intentions, right? Unlike the people of that world, right? So I'm kind of inherently on Superman's side because I know that he's not doing anything nefarious over here. He's actually trying to help, right? And that he does not represent America. He does represent himself, right? But then the question always goes back to, is that good? Right? Is that a good thing to do what he did or not? I think it's good. I think it's good to stop wars despite the whole kind of problems that could arise from that, right? But I'd have to say I'm more on Superman's side. But also going a bit off here, because on a very real thing, it is this kind of topic, is Superman allowed to just go in there and decide for himself without talking to anybody else what's good or bad? That's a very prevalent thing throughout a lot of, not even just Superman comics, but like the whole Justice League kind of comics, right? And the whole idea of the Justice League that this movie seems to be setting up, because it even goes to this whole thing of them calling themselves, like Guy Gardner calling his team the Justice Group. It's very much a thing of, they're not the Justice League yet.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to be the Justice League. This is a working name because there's just a couple of them and they're not there yet. Right? But going forward, even like, as one of the U.S. military men said to Flag at the end, well, looks like these metahumans are going to be calling the shots on what goes on now.
Yeah, that was also a pretty powerful line, because in a way that probably is true, but and this is getting closer to another topic about the movie. But
I would like to answer too.
I know, I know, but in a way it is. I'll get to that later, but yeah, go ahead, man.
All right, neither.
That's not an option.
No.
Just because you didn't care enough, it doesn't make that an answer.
No. I have my reasons for neither. I was on neither side. The reason why I was on neither side is because, well, actually, maybe I could say I was like more of like the neutral party for both. Because here's the thing. Part of me, and I will say this, right, to do with Superman, I do get his point of why he had to step in, because, like, hands down, people are going to die. He has the ability, he has the strength to literally stop a war before it even happens by just putting up an ounce of a strike, by flipping over tanks and then literally doing the, well, to be fair, it was torture, but doing the whole cactus thing with the bee country. So but at the same time, he stopped a lot of like fighting that honestly was getting orchestrated and also could have killed a lot of people. So I do get that point. But going on the news side, I also understand the point that, like, hands down, you can't do stuff like that without realizing that there are consequences for your actions. You can't, like, to be fair, I understand, because literally Superman says, I wasn't representing anybody. I was just representing me. I was just doing something. But he doesn't realize his actions, especially because he's more centered around America, his actions and what he does could incite a lot of more stuff that happens between negotiations and a whole bunch of other things. So I did get his point. But this is one thing in particular why I would say I'm on neither side. One, for Superman's part of it, a lot of time in this movie, I feel like Superman feels like he can just do whatever he wants because it's like I was put on this earth for this good purpose. My alien parents, my biological parents wanted me to do. So anything I do makes sense because I'm doing good. I'm doing here, and that's honestly like an ignorant kind of just like way of thinking. You
sound like Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Okay, relax.
It's not
relax.
like he's going around robbing stores like, oh, I'll do whatever I want. I'm gonna go give this to poor people. Oh, like he's not doing
literally
wrong.
The whole point is I'm going out there. I'm a kind man who wants to help and save lives. I'm specifically out here to save people from dying.
I understand that, but there are ways to do that, and 100% he should have at least thought about what things he was doing would inflict, especially in negotiations or especially like with the president. Like when Lois says, "Did you ask the president?" or anything like that, it's like he's like, honestly, to his point, like not to his point, but how his demeanor was, he was like, "Why would I have to ask the president if it's cool for me to go do this? I'm Superman. I don't like that." There are levels. There are levels to what you should be able to do, and you have to think about how does this affect everybody, not just what you want to do at the end of the day. At the same, but like I said before, he was trying to save people. Now to go to the news side, I'm not on the news side either, because one thing in particular I love that this movie kind of showed is that humanity is stupid. If I'm being completely honest, humanity is stupid, because I love the fact that like, oh, when Lex Luthor drops the whole, yo, check it out, Superman is supposed to be this big old superhuman dictator, and he's supposed to harem a whole bunch of chicks and all this stuff, and everybody's like, oh my goodness, after Superman literally saved y'all, literally stopped an entire monster, and even his quote-unquote super friends from the Justice Gang are literally looking at him like, dog, you're trash, and then like that guy from behind throws a freaking Chef Boyardee can at his head or whatever can that was at Superman's hand, like that gonna do something. Everyone's like, oh god, Superman, are all running away from him, and they're all like, like stupid. All it took was one video, and everybody's like, oh, Superman's trash, Superman's bad. Especially that one article, that one dude's like, yo, I used to mess with Superman, but after that, I hope he died. Like, bro, who are you? Are you serious? Or even like when he saves that little girl, and she's like, Superman, and then afterwards when that thing comes out, her mom was like, get over here, don't be with him. I'm like, bro. And then afterwards when it comes out with the whole Lex Luthor thing, like, oh, Lex Luthor was doing all this controversy stuff, oh, he's working against everything, everybody's like, oh my goodness, Superman, we're so sorry, oh, we deserve Superman a big apology. No, honestly, low-key, Superman deserves to crash out. He should be on some Homelander timing at that point, if I'm being completely honest. But that's not Superman. But, bro, y'all lucky he saved y'all and saved the rift and stopped the rift and everything like that. Y'all got so lucky with that. Because, honestly, I wouldn't put it, if it was like a regular person, and like in this day and age, hands down, they would have just been like, deuces, y'all can go die, 100%. But Superman isn't like that. And thank God he's not like that. Because the y'all little traitorous butts got saved at the end. So, hands down, I'm not on either side. Because the news team and all the individuals, all the humans, all the fans of the Justice Game, they're hypocritical idiots. And then Superman is hands down a person that truly needs to understand the severity of his actions. And he's immature, and he doesn't like being told what he's doing is wrong. He's a baby. Thank you very much.
I can't agree to that last point. Sorry, sir.
That's fine. It's an opinion. It's not fact.
Yeah, I think there were elements of that, especially in the beginning conversation interview thing. But I hope that goes away in like later movies with him involved, like that he does like grow up a little bit, even though he's been doing it for 3 years or whatever it said at the very beginning. But I absolutely agree that there's he does need to realize that his actions have consequences, especially in the big invasion topic that was going on. But at the same time,
it's more the political sphere, right?
Yeah.
It's the idea that, hey, not stopping a war can lead to more things than is it right or wrong to stop it, right? And that's the complexities of, human society and all that, right? That he doesn't understand completely because he's not well versed in it. That's the whole problem. He's not well versed in the consequences of war. He just sees it like most people will see it. Yeah, war is a bad thing. People dying is a bad thing, right? Let's have it so people don't die, right? That's genuinely the way he operates throughout the world, right? But that's not always going to work, and that is the thing that gets tackled a lot throughout Superman's any run of Superman. Just how sometimes people do need to die, sometimes it's right for people to die and all that, but Superman cannot accept that.
You got anywhere else to go, E-Man, or can I bring up another point?
I wanted you to bring up your next point, if I'm being honest with you, but I was just listening to Machi. I don't have anything to say about it, so I was waiting for you to bring up your next point because I know you had one. Yeah.
So so another thing that I liked about this, and this was one of the things I was looking forward to with the movie, with the reboot of the DC universe, whatever, right? There's a side of Superman, especially in the recent ones that we haven't been seeing, but there's a side of Superman that is kind of lost or lost in it's been lost in the movies of him being this again the symbol of hope. He's got all this muscle. He is an alien. He's not from here, but he is trustworthy. And scenes like the kids coming around him right before the video is dropped about his parents, right? Big monster thing is down. The children are like corralling around him. He's lifting them up. He's saying hi. They're all saying hello. Like the I want to say like the guy next door Superman vibe I was really looking forward to. And there were elements of that in the movie that I also really liked. So I'm trying to get at like what were the expectations that you had going into the movie?
Don't be bad.
Expectations. I was really expecting, right? More condensed, more focused kind of plot around the fact that Lex Luthor is trying to take out Superman and all that, right? And that's what I was feeling, right? That really I was feeling more of a look, the world is super dangerous, bad things happen all the time kind of thing. Yeah. Superman's out here saving lives, right? Trying to keep everyone safe and all that all the time, but he's struggling with the fact that the politics of it aren't really, going his way, right? And the government doesn't like what he's doing all the time, right? And Lex Luthor is adding on to that and just taking and specifically targeting things to take him out. And that's kind of what happened here, just not in such a condensed way that I was expecting, right? But when you're going on this point about the way people perceive him, right? I was expecting there to be a point where people did not mess with him at all. I just didn't know what that was going to be, which kind of angle they were going to take of why people don't really mess with him and all that. But I did. I was especially, this is something I was expecting. I was expecting it not to be like Man of Steel.
Yeah, right? No, for sure.
Or the way he's depicted in the Justice League. Because in the way he's depicted in Justice League, he is deified.
Yeah.
It's not so much he's deified here. It's like, yeah, Superman, he's that dude who comes around, helps everyone out. We like Superman. People are like, I like Superman. He's that dude, goes around flying, he saves people.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's what I need. That's what we need. Someone to just go around and save people who isn't kind of a jerk, kind of like Guy Gardner, right?
Right.
It's like the contrast to Guy Gardner a bit. Guy Gardner will do it, but he's a bit of a jerk about it. But Superman's like, no, I'm just doing it to do it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to get at too. Is like, I wanted it to be a different vibe, and I knew that going in that it would be with James Gunn. But I wanted it to be a different vibe where we could see the lovable side of Superman, and not just the super serious side. The only problem is it's a James Gunn movie, and not that he does bad at directing at all. He's a great director. It's just I don't think his style of directing. I think I can imagine a spectrum, right? And right in the middle is like a normal movie. You know, there's no like crazy rift opening up in the ground. There's no Superman. It's just an everyday movie, right? On one end of that spectrum is James Gunn, right? It's Guardians of the Galaxy. It's all the other stuff that he's done. By the way, I just realized a few days ago he did the first Scooby-Doo movie, which I think is funny. But anyway, there's a craziness spectrum, and the amount of crazy a certain series is allowed to get away with varies with the theme and what's going on. This is something me and E-Man talk about a lot, and it's something that we've had numerous arguments about, because he says, "Oh, this show is great," and I'm like, "Yeah, no, the whole time it just didn't fit. Like the vibes just did not fit what it was, what the world should have been like." To me, right at the get-go, crazy rifts opening up, this giant alien animal monster thing, the whole I'll go back to it, the whole like alien jellyfish looking whatever out the back window, and people like taking selfies of the, I forget again, the Bee Country, whatever it was called, the Hammer of Bee Country, destroying one building, and the lady taking a selfie out the window.
Okay, so we taking a selfie. That was Lex Luthor's girlfriend specifically.
Yes. But there was multiple times where like they were just acting like this was an everyday thing. The craziness was every day, and it was a normal thing. Once you establish that, you have serious issues for the next movies after it, right? This is a reboot of the universe. So there's going to be more serious movies like Batman. Batman, I am honestly terrified of now working under James Gunn, because his style of directing is not super serious Batman, Brave and the Bold, like dark. Every version of Batman is the same, where it's a serious character. It's not going to be Superman or the Flash or Green Lantern, not when it's Guy Gardner, but like normal Green Lantern. It's just that spectrum, again, like way on the tail end of the craziness spectrum is where Superman lies. And it was able to get away with some of that craziness. If you move that a little bit further, and it's, again, Batman, that is not I'm scared of what Batman's going to be.
I thought he said he didn't want to do a Batman, though. I thought he said... Yeah,
he may not be directing it, but Batman is going to be a thing.
It's going to be a thing in his universe, right? The real question is, who's going to really head the movie, and what is the focus of the movie going to be when it comes to a head, right? For this whole thing of craziness, right? So there's this whole thing, we call the willful suspension of disbelief.
Yes, that's what it is. You're right. You're so right. I was never able to remember that's what it was called.
Is this world that we are being introduced to? How far can my brain just, suspend its disbelief that this is a thing that happens occasionally, routinely throughout this world? And personally for me, I'm very fine accepting this, because, like, especially coming up through all the, I hear criticisms of like this movie, like the things that are going on throughout the trailers that people talked about, right? And it's very much a thing of the DC universe is very, very messed up with how much crazy stuff goes on it consistently, and how much just aliens are a natural occurring thing throughout even just living on Earth and all that, right? And that's something I can only get being, I've read some comics, right? And I've seen all of Justice League, I've seen Young Justice, I've seen even Batman Beyond, stuff like that. I've seen a lot of the DC products that have just rolled out throughout the years. I really understand, like, how big and sometimes even small this world can really be in terms of threats.
Okay.
Right? So when that, like, eye jellyfish thing came up, that was 100% like a thing of like, okay, cool. That's just a thing that happens in the world. It was more of a thing to put flavor in this world, to tell you, like, yes, things do consistently happen in this world. And like you said, it's on a spectrum of craziness, right? So I can even see where your worries for the new Batman that will happen in this new universe James Gunn's created is going to come from. But also, you got to think of the kind of threats Batman usually deals with on his own.
Yeah. All right. This is what I want to say to go to like Logan's point. 'Cause I know you also brought up the arguments that me and him have usually, going forward, but I'm not gonna go into that because that doesn't really matter for my main point. I want to circle around mainly Logan's worries and also just like his thoughts on like James Gunn. In my opinion, and I'm just going forward, I wasn't surprised in how this, because I'm even gonna go more back to your expectations. I wasn't surprised in how this movie was going. Like honestly, like when I was sitting there, not gonna lie, I had literally had my like head to my fist, and I was just like, like the entire like most of the movie, I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yep, like not that that works, but like, yeah, this is what I was kind of expecting, especially for a James Gunn film. And this is the reason why I'm not surprised with how this movie is going to, because I don't know if how like you've seen all, because I know both of y'all probably seen at least like most of all the Guardians of the Galaxy series, at least, hopefully, maybe, or something like that.
I've seen everything James
Yeah.
Gunn's done.
Yeah, same as me. Yeah. So James Gunn, one thing I realized a lot of James Gunn's like stuff that he usually does is that one thing in particular, he loves putting comedy in serious moments. He like comedy is like one of his like biggest things in my opinion. I feel like he loves that, but he takes that comedy as he uses comedy either as a distraction or like a kind of like an icebreaker, and then he hits you with that deep emotional like dragging, like ringing in your heart, especially. So in this movie, in my opinion, yes, there was some craziness, yes, there was some ridiculousness, but there was still those essence of like that realism that like things to do with like how humanity is low-key fickle, how Superman's humanity, Lex Luthor and how he feels and all this stuff, and like getting to those points. Were some of that stuff like a lot corny? Yes. Another part of it is just that like to both of y'all points, like the whole like when people are doing selfies or people realizing like to like I honestly I would say this, I was kind of expecting more of like an origin story a little bit, because I didn't really know like how he was gonna do it, but it was more of like us just seeing like, okay, this is Superman. He's been doing this for a minute. He's been doing this for a while. This is what's going on. It was like kind of like getting like a morning update, breaking news, like kind of situation like that, where like we're just seeing everything that's going on for that like for those couple of days where things was happening. Like that, I think like legitly that was like the span of like a week. All that stuff, in my opinion, like because like it was like I think like it was like at least like 6 to 7 days, like the span of a week of all that stuff happening. And yes, it was crazy. Yes, it was ridiculous. But at the same time, I wasn't surprised, because a lot of James Gunn's films are like crazy things are happening. Even his animated series, like Creature Commandos, like crazy things happen. There's dark stuff, dark humor, but at the same time, these characters are really going through it. And DC is dark. DC is hands down dark. One thing in particular why I like Batman more than Superman is because Batman and all his darkness, right, I feel like is used well, right? When it's Superman's darkness, it's more just like it's dark, but then he's the shining light that just saves it all. And I don't like that.
No, the problem with that is, right, Superman, he's a good boy. He's a golden retriever type of person. Yeah, it's really hard to show his darkness without it feeling super edgy.
And I understand that, but that's why it always turned like a person that will always win, a person that is just strong, like on compare, seems like he doesn't really struggle and like all that stuff. I hate those kind of characters. I can't stand them. I like struggle. I like realism. Characters that just don't struggle, characters that just like are free as a bird, characters that are super strong, nobody can touch them. Like, no, thank you. That I will send that back to the chef. Thank you very much. Like that doesn't work for me. So this movie of seeing him struggling and him getting beat down and him legitly crying in that cell was like, yes, this is good. I like this. Like that worked for me. So that's why I kind of appreciated a little bit what James Gunn was doing. The only thing I would be worried about, and I agree with Logan, is like him taking away some of the seriousness of Batman and it being a little bit more comedic than like dark, like straight, like cutthroat, narrow Batman. I would be worried about that too, but at the same time, I trust James Gunn when it comes to like getting to like the deeper essence of a character and really fleshing that out. He's done that before in a lot of stuff where even like goofy characters, like for instance, Guardians of the Galaxy, the entire squad is goofy. They're an entire goofy squad. But the way in which they're able to like come together and band together and become a unit that for some reason is just able to like legitimately guard the galaxy and fight off evildoers and have that real essence of family, it's just amazing. He takes stupidity and makes it beautiful. Like legitimately, that's how I'd explain it. James Gunn takes stupid things and then makes them deep and beautiful afterwards, right? So in my opinion, I'm less worried than you would be, Logan. But hands down, like I expected it to be kind of like this. So I feel like it fit. But that's just my thought process on it. Any other questions from either of y'all? Because I just have one last question going forward.
Go for it.
All right. My last question, I would say, is how did y'all feel about, like, I just honestly, in my opinion, like, I just feel like the whole group that Lex Luthor, like the people that were working with Lex Luthor and everything like that, how did you feel about that group? Because honestly, in my opinion, I was like there was no, like, I feel like the only person that, like, made sense to be there was, like, Lex Luthor. Everybody else was just, like, cannon fodder to me, kind of like those are his, like, well, they're, like, his cult and stuff like that. But, like, I was thinking, like, maybe they were gonna, like, give, like, reason to, like, why they hate Superman so much, especially, like, Engineer. Like, Engineer was, like dead really into, like, the fact, but they're, like, dead into the fact of taking down Superman until, like, Lex Luthor was trying to, like, hurt everybody. So I kind of wanted, like, I feel like they should have put more reasoning. Or, I mean, maybe that's just me. I would have probably liked a little bit more gumption from, or a little more. Yeah, I feel like I just wanted a little bit more of like a explanation. Or like, honestly, I just feel like maybe they weren't even needed. Like, I feel like Lex Luthor could have done that all by himself. Most of the time, I feel like when he comes up with plans, he doesn't need anybody else.
I know he has people. He has lots of people.
I know he has
a whole
people.
He has a whole company that's based on hating.
Yes, I understand that, but at the same time, like, he's the vocal point. He's the head, right? But it seems like even like the points where like those like the little worker drones are freaking out, and then he's like, oh no, he took out that camera. And it's like, that's literally what I just said, Jerry, or whatever that dude's name was. I'm like, bro, I don't care about these people. Why are they talking? Like, it was like, I was just like, do y'all feel like they needed to be in there? I don't really feel like they needed to be in there, hands down. But I understand somewhat why they were there. But like,
it's not secular for me right there. Right? It's not whether they need to be in there or not. Right? It's kind of a whole thing with Lex Luthor. He doesn't always do all this stuff by himself. He has a team of people. He has a whole organization. He's running a business, and these people are part of his business. His whole business is, I hate Superman. I want Superman gone. That's like, even like this whole thing he says, where he's like, I didn't do all this stuff with these other two countries starting a war because I had interest in them. I did it to distract you so I could kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah, their only purpose was just to be his employees. Like, to me, I didn't. It's different for Engineer and Ultraman, right? But the other ones, like, I didn't expect anything more from them. I didn't want anything more from them because they serve their purpose as just doing what they were told to do. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, no, it does. I was just thinking a little bit, but yeah, it does, and it does in a sense. It does. But I don't know. They just kind of a little bit of me kind of irked me a little bit. I was happy when the dog came in and was like biting on Lex Luthor, and they're all screaming and freaking out.
Oh my gosh, that was the funniest. That was the funniest part of the movie.
That was my favorite part of the movie because he's just talking all that crap, and then just the dog comes in and just biting him, and everybody's like, ah! Ah! They're like, what, do something, and he's just like, yo, Crypto, chill. Like, I was like, yes, this is nice. Like, that was better. That was good. I feel like that was like the one chaotic thing, Logan. I feel like you would have probably enjoyed then, because you did just say that you did enjoy that. Like out of all the chaos.
Yeah,
So at least you like that.
that made sense.
Yeah,
That was good.
Yeah.
I got you. Any closing remarks for both of you, Machi?
Okay. There's Superman, right? He's a hard character to bring to the big screen, right? I don't think anyone Christopher Reeves has done it well, and he only did it well twice out of 4 times, right?
Yeah.
And the whole thing is, his story is, I think it's a bit too long-winded to really just be summed up in a movie. It feels like Superman's whole story works better in the comic books or as like a TV show, like Smallville, right?
Yeah.
So it's really difficult to try and condense it, especially when you're trying to set this up for a new cinematic universe into such a small package.
Okay.
Logan?
Gotcha.
I've got 2 final things to say. Number 1, I'd like to start off by making a prediction. I think, and this might be crazy, and you know what? I'm probably super wrong. And this is very dependent on how the rest of James Gunn's DC universe goes. But I think in, I don't know, 10, 15, maybe 20 years, I think people are going to look back and not like this movie.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna fade away, and it's not just normal fade away. I think it's gonna be actively like, the whole meme of Thanos looking at, oh gosh, what was Gamora's sister's name? Nebula. Thanos looking at Nebula and being like, perhaps I treated you too harshly. Like that's what people are gonna be posting, but they're gonna be looking at like Man of Steel and the other DC products.
No, I wouldn't say Man of Steel. I think Man of Steel is a bad Superman movie.
I do agree. I think it's not. I don't think it's Superman, but I think it's more Superman than this one was. But it's a different vibe. It's a different type of Superman. But that's just the example I'm giving. I think
I'd have to say this movie is the weakest James Gunn movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I would agree with that, Machi. I would 100% agree with that.
I think
I've
that's
seen
just
better.
because it works. It always goes back to the whole suspension of disbelief thing for me. I think it works so much. It's just so easy to take a cast of characters and a, I guess, a comic like the Guardians of the Galaxy and make a James Gunn movie, because he's good at making these crazy plotted super sci-fi weird movies. Again, Superman, it gets away with it because it is Superman, it is DC, but I think that's it's really cutting it close to be able to scrape by and let it be okay. But anyway, nonetheless, I think in a few years people are going to look back on this movie and have a different opinion than they do now. Not that it was a bad movie, it was a good movie. The last thing I want to say as a closing remark is, if you were worried about James Gunn's control over DC, it's safe. DC is safe in James Gunn's hands. It's different than what I was expecting. I don't know how it's going to work with different directors, or or how much control he's going to maintain over it. I know he's technically in the Kevin Feige, whatever the guy's name is for Marvel. He's that role, but for DC now. Is it Feige?
Yeah.
Okay. He's like that role, so I trust him being in that role. I don't know how it's gonna be if he's more hands-on for later films, but it's safe in his hands. Superman, I think is good. Huh?
Going forward with him, going forward with what James Gunn is doing, right? I think he's fine, specifically in this role of overlooking these things, right?
Yeah.
But I think he's going to need some help like staying more on topic, right? I think I can definitely see where his vision for this is going. He's definitely building up to more metahumans coming in, right? Coming in to make the Justice League, which is
Yeah.
going to be this group that decides whether it's okay to go in somewhere and save people and all that, right?
Yep.
But he's going to need some help really fleshing out some of these characters and setting in better plots. I think he's going to be good with bringing out more of the things, the older things that are in comics that people might not know about.
Yeah.
But he's going to need some more help bringing it together and condensing it into a better, tightly written script.
Got you. As for me, I just want to agree with Logan, just saying that like I do believe that DC is safe in James Gunn's hands. I can't wait to do. Oh, I can't wait. Sorry, not can't wait to do. I just can't wait to see what he does with it. Because I mean, most of the time, I don't really like watching DC movies a lot myself. But I think going forward, I'm just gonna keep locking in and trying my hardest to just put in the effort to go see them, just to see like where like things progress and where things go. Especially just being the movie, one of the movie connoisseurs, I gotta do it. Gotta make sure I do it, not just because I feel like I need to, but because I want to, because I want to be informed. I love all things of fiction. Lastly, I just want to say, viewers, thank y'all for tuning in for this Superman review. If you, please, of course, we always love hearing in the comments what y'all thought about the movie. Who was your favorite character? What did you think about David Cornsweat's Superman? What did you think about the other characters? What do you think about Lois Lane? How did you feel about Lex Luthor? Everything. Give us everything. We love hearing it. We love reading it. Just hit us up, yo. But until next time, this has been the Connoisseur. This has been the Master of Cinema. This has been the Duke of Gaming. And I just want to bid y'all a farewell until next time, my dear viewers. Peace.
Bye.
Bye. We didn't even talk about Jimmy Olsen.
I know, we didn't talk. I was thinking that the whole time. We didn't talk about Jimmy.
It's fine.
We can talk about him right now.
All right, let's talk about him. I'll talk about him real quick. Make this
Yo,
short.
so how does Jimmy get like? So is Jimmy known for just having mad shorties? Because like there were so many girls on him.
Oh, no,
gosh, I
he was
sneezed.
Superman's best friend.
Because like it was like even the prostitutes were like, hey, like it seemed like they were gonna let him have a free taste, man. Like, dog, like my man,
Jimmy
was pulling crazy.
Jimmy is that dude, right? He's great. He's like Superman's best friend. He knows what he's about, right? He's doing great and all that. I don't know. They needed to speed things up with him in this movie, all right? Because there was a lot of like slow comedy with him in this movie. I just couldn't take it. I was like, speed it up. Say what you need to say and move on, sir.
I got you. What about you?
What about you, Logan?
What are we talking about?
Jimmy,
Talking about
bro.
Jimmy Olsen. I don't know. I just think he was another really good character.
I liked him. Definitely, I liked him, right? But then the whole Daily Planet thing, I felt like this is what was emblematic of Superman works way better as like a show than a movie. Because there's a lot in the cast of Superman's life.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff going on.
Because with Batman, like especially, and you see it in the Batman movies, that there's never been a Robin since like Batman and Robin, right? And they take out more of the more ensemble cast of Batman's life, and it's just Batman and Alfred usually going about fighting whatever villain it is that seems to be the premise of the movie, right? Which is why I think his movies work a lot better because it's more condensed to a smaller cast of people. But with Superman, there's a lot of people in his life, so it's kind of harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Jimmy's character. I think that he was definitely used well, especially as a way to like help get the information needed to take down Lex with his like surprising connection, like of talking to Eve. I mean, there was like other characters, like Mr. Terrific. I really enjoyed like Mr. Terrific. I think that he was a good like I don't know. Every time he showed up, I was just like, yeah, no, he fits the vibe of like, bro, listen, we just gotta do what we gotta do and get the job done, yo. Like it's like he was like a legit just like a hero. At the end of the day, just doing what he needs to do and just getting it done, bro. I mean, I like the part where he was like, I'm only helping you because I want to piss off Green Lantern, which I'm like, yo, that just fits so well, bro, because nobody likes Green Hal Gardner. Wait, not Hal Gardner. What is his name? Guy Gardner. Yeah. He's correct. I mean, I also like the fact of I know we've always seen it in the trailer, but actually getting to see that like legit scene and understanding like what was like the stuff that happened before getting to that point where he's like, yo, this ain't no nap time. Get up. We got stuff to do. And it's like, take this seriously. It's like, I have important stuff to do. I'm tired, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. When I was watching that, I literally thought of like, that's like legit, like that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Logan. Like, I swear I've had conversations with you, bro. That made me crack up. It's like, yo, we got stuff to do. Let's go.